All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. There are three really hot stocks that we are going to be looking at here, and then, man, we're going to talk about MULN for sure, all right? But GNS clearly made a really big move on Friday. The one cool thing, and I'm going to show this a couple times, but on Thursday evening, afternoon, definitely said it could go to one, right? So I said that on 10-1. It definitely popped on the 11th, right? So I keep talking about the Discord. Hey, you guys should check out the link and come join the fun over there, all right? But GNS, in all honesty, it looks like there might actually be more here. So this is a really nice one to look at, all right? The next one is PGY. And look, PGY is on the border of a nasty gap fill, all right? So really big mover if it breaks that key line. Definitely well worth watching, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, okay? APLS. Okay, so two things. One, I actually generally say I don't like trading like pharmaceutical and healthcare stocks, all right? Some news can really destroy technicals quickly, and from what it sounds like, that's what happened there. Seems to be an interesting recovery happening right now. So that's kind of the main thing. And then MULN, reverse split. And if you've been listening to my videos, look, I've never implied that I knew it was going to happen or anything like that, but I kept saying it felt like it was going to happen again. It happened again in that 10-cent world, and someone on the comments roughly a month ago said 1 for 9 is what's going to be the next split. So like literally, if you go back maybe a month, that's for sure in the comments. It wasn't me. Someone I always say smarter than me, right? There's some really good people in the comments, but yeah, someone smarter than me definitely said, hey, MULN 1 for 9 reverse split, be careful for it. And it literally happened on Friday. So bunch of crazy things, but we'll go deeper and give you more of my opinions. But real quick, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video all over the internet, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do really does help me out, but I swear just being here and giving me your time is super appreciated, all right? So look, let's get into it. And clearly GNS on Friday the 11th had a monster 46% day. The cool thing is, if you are in the Chart Readers Discord, I will share the link. Look, on Thursday the 10th at 3 p.m., still with an hour and some change left to get some stuff in after hours if you want it. GNS, lots of reasons for that to hit $1. Man, it hit the dollar right here and smashed, okay? So I'll tell you why I like this going into Friday, and then again, I'll tell you why I still like it going into Monday, okay? So look, first and foremost, let's just zoom out really quick. I know I've covered this stock not that long ago. This is a holding of actually one of my favorite viewers. He knows who he is, okay? But look, GNS knows how to fly. Okay, if this thing can get over some moving averages, oh yeah, it's ready to run. Okay, and the not funny thing, but the interesting is, look, on this candle right here, there were only 4 moving averages. You can see the 200-day actually starts on this day right here, okay? So why does that matter? Obviously it matters because now we have one more boss that we have to break in the Super Mario game, right, that I kind of joke about. But look, this 200 line has been a little bit of a difficulty since it formed, right? Obviously there was like a continuation that maybe was a little more of the 8 bounce than it was an actual break of the 200. Nonetheless, okay, we get over it. We try to a second time, definitely can't, and then from there just haven't touched it since, right? So I at least want to put a little emphasis on this 200 line. I think that's important to do, okay? That said, one more time, the real reason I started on this half was, look, it knows how to run. It knows how to run when it's over some moving averages, all right? It knows how to run when the RSI is heating up. It knows how to run when the MACD is heating up. It knows how to get 250 million plus shares. Then the next day, 230 million. You know what I mean? Like it knows how to do a lot of really big monster things. Okay. It just simply hasn't for the last, what, 6 months, whatever it may be. Now things are heating up. Okay. And on Wednesday, you can see it. Wednesday closes above the 50, right? It's only a penny. You can see it in the box over there. The average 50 was at 74. We close with the green number on top at 75, okay? Breaks it by a penny, and then next day confirms. When you can do this, this is what I expect, all right? And I'll be honest, you saw it in the comment. Again, I'm going to show it to you again. Lots of reasons for this to hit one. I thought, okay, we would go from here to here. All right. This was, again, on Thursday, you'll see it. Average 100 was at 99 cents. That's where I looked. That's where I said, okay, that's where I put this comment to the team. Right. So, yeah, from there, things just got a little better, right? So, and why is that? Look, again, what's happening in this channel, right? Red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, red, red. Like and even this one, green, green, like it's a super fast moving channel. And you know, I talk about these often on my videos, right? Like if you can find yourself a nice little, good little channel, get yourself some nice little, good little spacings in the lines, oh man, you can do some deadly things, all right? And yeah, instead of just stopping here, it said, you know what, let's keep going, right? And we actually get more volume than we did on Tuesday. But again, this is still relatively insignificant to what it's seen. I wouldn't even say insignificant. I would say that this is like the average big pop, right? It does it these two times. It did it on this one, give or take this one. It knows how to do a little bit bigger. That's basically the whole chart right there. But look, the money line for sure is this. All right, it's that 200. It's 160. Okay, if it can break 160, yeah, things can go a little bit wild. But like I said, right, just give respect to the line that, you know, just formed, but really hasn't been an easy break, let alone hasn't been touched since this day. Sorry, I clicked the wrong one. Excuse me. Like, these wicks don't matter to me. You know that, right? So, but that said, hey, this is heating up well. This is now in the positive. Again, volume's kind of doing a nice little volume thing. There's reasons to believe Monday should keep going. Maybe Monday gets us here. And look, we already wicked this. Is that actually what the high was? 143, 143. I love it when that happens, right? But yeah, it wicked to this. Look, again, break this line. All I'm seeing is green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 all the way up to this line, right? So this is a monster one to break. If this breaks, oh man, this actually might get halted a few times as it comes to here, then up there. I'm just throwing that out there, but GNS, look, there's reasons to like this still. Again, I see that this happened. Man, there might be more gas in the tank for sure here. So what did after hours do? I don't think anything crazy. It went up a little. I'll take that. I'll take that. That's essentially holding in my book, right? Like when it does nothing crazy, I'm cool with it. When it does something a little crazier, hey, maybe I'll think about it a little bit, but end of the day, you know, regular hours is all I care about. But GNS, I am loving it for sure. Hey, this was an important week. This week took two moving averages. I need really good confirmation. That kind of means closing around the 140-ish by Friday, right? So if it can do better, hell yeah, don't get me wrong. And it seems like this is actually pretty much where that 200 is. This is 167. I almost hit the Discord link again, sorry. What was this up here? 167 was that one. 16 was this one, right? So I think 170 is probably going to be the magic number here, okay? But yeah, GNS, again, must watch on Monday if you are not in already. Okay, PGY. All right, check out PGY. I'm going to go to the Discord link one more time. There's a viewer request section. So that's not where this one came from. I think it was within the comments. Sorry about that. But again, this one came from the group as well. And there's some interesting things happening here. All right. First and foremost, look, gets over this little cluster, makes it all the, you know, most, excuse me, most of the time when I see a giant drop like this, you can even see it. It happens on pretty much all of them. It rarely breaks it on the line down, it generally does this. It generally breaks it once it's like moved out. In all honesty, I don't know if I've actually ever seen this. Does it actually matter more? I don't really know. But I'm surprised it didn't break on this up. Okay, I hope that made sense, right? One more time. I've seen this a bunch of times. Like, again, these are computer generated lines, right? And when the price was here and all of a sudden it goes down here, yeah, you're going to get some crazy things happening in the math, right? But again, you can see it. The drop happens and it doesn't really break it until it kind of like flattens out. Drop happens, doesn't really try to break it till it flattens out. Drop happens, it's on the flatten out. Drop happens, it's on the flatten out. Drop happens, it happens midway of the drop, or at least last end of the drop. And again, I've, like I said, just never seen that. Okay, I started zoomed in for no reason. From there, look, this is the line we need to get over. Okay, and it's okay, that's why I drew this. It was from here because I was like, where am I drawing this from? We're just here right now, and I know I wasn't looking at this before. That's from this right here. If we get over 275, oh my goodness. And I'll be honest, I am for sure setting an alert at 276 here. 2.76. Give me that penny over just to know. All that happens is red, 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 green, 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 green. Whole mess of nothing from there. Then we get into this one. Red, 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 green, 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 green. Whole mess of nothing. Then we get into this one. Green, 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 green. A little bit, little bit. Maybe it's worth drawing something there. I don't think I will, but maybe that'll be the first place that maybe it holds, okay? Otherwise, super easy channel, maybe the first one. Again, break this one. Huge up, huge down, like there's some crazy things that might happen on this one. I'm also seeing a really nice little consistent volume. Clearly, Friday had some big volume, and Friday's big volume brought a double-digit day, but not a really big candle, which in its own little way is kind of interesting. And I wouldn't necessarily call this a doji. I think that this at least goes up a healthy body, right? Like it does actually go up almost 10 cents, right? Opens at 255, closes at 265, right? So about a decent little lift, okay? That said, there's a little bit of like wick down, wick up, you know. So I think there's still maybe a little bit of uncertainty here, but nonetheless, look, bounce on the 8, bounce on the 8, bounce on the 8, bounce on the 8. Oh no, but you used the 20 really well. We might be going, okay? So MACD still positive. Hopefully Monday helps it get back over that red line. RSI is actually still okay. It's still in the 70s, right? But I think more than anything, I like the volume. I like the relatively like consistent volume overall. Yeah, this one again is just, it's on, like, that's the money line. If that breaks, oh man, this one might get a little silly here, all right? Where are we on the weekly? Look, we're actually over the 50. This broke, this didn't confirm. Yeah, that confirms for me, right? Like we are now sitting over all the moving averages on the weekly. This 50 line just formed. So like there's no way the 100 moving average line is going to start anytime soon, right? Like from here to here isn't 50 weeks. You get what I'm saying, right? So we still need a number of weeks before this next one's going to form. So we are over all the moving averages. We are in a MACD that's coming up. Man, that RSI is pretty high, okay? But it was 94 last week. I don't know if it's just going to try to live up there. I mean, it's a little high for sure, but yeah, volume's even still holding. What were you? You were 73 million. This was 72. Like, damn. There's some I didn't see this weekly RSI. I don't know if this is scaring me just a little bit, but I'll be honest, I love this daily. If it can get over that, man, this thing could be interesting. It's a technology stock. Where's NASDAQ? NASDAQ's not doing swimmingly. Comp. Sorry. Yeah, NASDAQ's dropping a little bit still, but interesting. PGY, I don't know what you do. I might, interesting. Let me know if there's any news on this thing. I would actually really appreciate a little bit something, but that's an interesting one to say the least, okay? So I like this one. Just check it out on Monday. That weekly RSI is the only thing that like makes it a little odd for me. Okay, let's come to this APLS. Look, I've said this on so many different stocks, all right, not just this one, but whenever I see healthcare sector, whenever I see the word pharmaceuticals, whenever I see like biotech, you know, there's always a little hesitation in me to trade the stock, okay? Why is that? Look, honestly, nothing makes these colorful lines that I love so much more irrelevant than the FDA giving you a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or some sort of headline about someone dying, some like clinical trial not giving statistical enough fat. Like, there are so many different little headlines on a news article that's connected to pharmaceutical and medical stuff specifically, that, man, crazy things can happen, all right? And from what it sounds like, look, this I don't know, but this one literally, I'm reading this, okay? So apparently there was a sell-off, and again, this is nothing more than an opinion, right? I did not fact check this at all, but it sounds like there was a sell-off because there was some news about swelling. Again, how sad is it that some news about swelling takes this from 85 to at one point wicking? Look at that. The low went sub 20. It got as low as 19. This thing went from, one more time, 80 to 20, losing 75% of the value, because if this is correct, there was some swelling. Again, I'm not trying to downplay that, right? Like, I would be mad if I'm taking some meds and all of a sudden, like, I'm really not downplaying it, but it just really goes back to, like, when it comes to the livelihood and treatment of humans, there's a lot more scrutiny than there is some technology that's going to make our lives a little easier. You get what I'm saying? So again, that's always my little hesitation when it comes to just healthcare stuff. That said, again, going back to this, it looks like there could, okay, hold on. But, okay, however, reports are saying that the doctors are still using the treatment, okay? That's what at least is his theory of the go up. For me, the theory of the go up, I think, matters less. Because, look, for me, technically speaking, look at this day. Our RSI was at 5. Our RSI was at 5. Our RSI was at 5. Like, we were living. The RSI got to 3 on this day. Like, the RSI got so low that, yeah, it makes sense that it's going to start to do a recovery. From there, I think volume just picked up. We break the 8, we break the 20, and technical things just kind of started happening. You know what I mean? And look, this day was able to break the white line, that 50 average. Obviously, the day after does even better and still breaks it, right? So for me, the recovery is less about that doctor news that I saw, but the drop, oh man, you know what I mean? And look, again, technically, you know, I always say it, you lose all 5, break all 5 moving averages and fly, lose all 5 and die. This is lose all 5 and die, like as textbook as it can be, you know what I mean? But again, what's important and why we're talking about this is look, we have broken the 8. We have broken the 20. We need to confirm. This day closes at 32.39, all right? We are over both of those, right? You can see the green little sliver to the right on the big candle, right? Like, we are over them, okay? So at this point, all I'm seeing is red, 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 green, 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 green. And again, we're at 32. The first real resistance is at 63 right here, all right? I'm going to come to the weekly. You can see that there's a bunch more resistances right here, right? So I'm going to draw this just to see it on the daily, okay? So when it goes from here to here and it stalls and everyone's kind of asking, why is it stalling? We know. That's why, all right? So I think this is an important one to look at. And then let's be honest, there are still more. Like 54 is another one. And I don't know if this one, let me at least just draw it just so we can see it. And then I'll decide if I'm going to delete it or not. I'll delete this one. But again, I would also be a little shocked that, like, we've just cleared this whole candle. We're now into this candle and 54 whatever is stopping us, right? So you know what? I'm going to leave these. Worst case, I'll just delete them next time we look at them. But hey, going from 30 something to almost 50, that's a big little jump right there, right? And I think that's the immediate target. Real healthy RSI with a very beautiful divergence. Again, divergence, just a fancy word for the lines going away from each other, right? And they were going away from each other right here, and now they look like they're going away even more. I love it. That's also diverging. That's still pretty negative. I wish that was just a little better, but yeah, you run from here to here, that bad boy will go from 11 to 0 and into the positive real quick, all right? And then clearly volume has been really pretty. So a lot to like here. And again, the weekly looks a little stacked, right? But just remember, that's where we were on the daily before it dropped, right? So it makes sense that this is getting a little stacked, and unfortunately is now, you know, the lines are catching up. But immediately, let's see how high we can go. Look, do I genuinely believe we're going to get over these three? I don't think so. Unless the MACD actually, but see, here's my problem. By the time the MACD can get into the positive, I would imagine the RSI would get just a little high. And just as I say that, I now see this. Sweet Jesus, 91, 94. You're looking at the RSI box, all right, right in the middle. So 94, 91, 92, 91, 92. Jesus, 89. Dude, it like lives up here for what, 3 weeks? Damn, what are you? 84 still. Literally from 4.6 all the way to 425. For nearly 20 days, it was in a 90 RSI. Yo, this is a crazy stock. This is an interesting one. Oh, I'm going to do a little more. I'll be honest. You know what I did not do? I will be honest. I did not look at my actual, like, better ones. This one's interesting. This one's actually for sure caught my eye. This is a cool one. All right, I like this one. Damn, 21 minutes. Holy shit. Sorry, I went a little too long. Let's talk about MULN, okay? And dude, the big, so the first thing I have to do is delete all my lines, okay? Because now this is a brand new chart, okay? We were living in that 10-cent world for obviously most of this, right? Now it's gone up. But one of the things I kept saying on the 10-cent world videos was, in the back of my head, I feel like MULN's going to do another reverse split, right? They literally did this 1 for 25. What is this? 3 months ago, 4 months ago, at that same price range. So when you, and let's all be honest, okay? I said, if you go to the day that this split happened, I made a video. I said we were gonna come back to that like 10-cent world. I swear I never, ever thought it would happen in a 2-month window. I think that was so extreme. Like, that was crazy that it happened that quick. But when we did this, it felt like we were gonna come down. When we came down so fast, it just felt like it was going to happen again. And again, go to the comments. In the like 1 for 9 did not surprise me at all. 1 for 9 apparently was some NASDAQ delisting requirement. If they went any bigger than 1 for 9, they would have, bad things would have happened, is essentially what the comment was, all right? And look, at this point, they can't do another reverse split. That was also the thing that was said. This 1 for 9, obviously they can, right? Like, as a company, they can decide to do another one tomorrow just for shits and giggles if they really wanted to. That said, it sounded like there were some bad consequences if it went more than 1 for 9. On the next one, right? So at this point, there is nothing else the stock can do, right? What's horrible is, look, for the last few days, we really haven't been breaking that 50 average line, all right? And the real issue at the time before the split was the not breaking the volume was why we just never got over the 8 and 20 moving averages, right? Once, and I said it right here, once we like, it stopped going from that daily attack on the 20 moving average to the fall under the 8. That is just historic. Like, that's all the stock has done. It just went back to going under the 8. And that's where we're at. We're not only back under the 8, we actually cracked the 50 moving average with bad volume. That's not good. That makes me believe we're going to start, oh, it's gone. This was a lot bigger 2 splits ago. All right. I think we're going to get some pretty big volumes of sells because, again, it happened so quickly the first time. In the back of my mind, I'm not sure if it's going to happen quicker. I'm not sure if it's going to happen in the same amount of time. I'm not sure if it's going to take longer. In all three scenarios, I'm still pretty sure we're going back to that 10-cent world we were originally at before this split and that we were just at before this split, all right? You know what the saddest thing is on this split? I don't think anyone had a clue. All right. This one we were all ready for it. We all knew they had made the announcement like the 1 for 25 was about to come. This, I'll tell you, I mean, I saw MULN at $1. I like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought someone just made so much money and it wasn't me. And I was like, how did I just miss a 10-cent to $1 run? And then I saw it was a reverse split. I had no idea. I don't think there was much news or like forewarning. If there was, like, I just didn't see it. I won't pretend that, but man, I really think that this RSI not that long ago, just, oh, that wasn't even that low. This is the one that was low. Yeah, I will not, and I'm telling you, I don't think this stock should be touched under 118. 117, you can see it in the box over there, is that 20 moving average line. That's what needs to break before this can take my hard-earned money. Don't get me wrong, break 117, there's a lot of room up to maybe this, if not this, okay? That said, just don't forget that this stock has no idea how to break that 20 moving average line. And I'm going to continue, and look, I can keep zooming out. Like, it's been well below that orange line for most of this, okay? So I'm going to keep assuming it's going to keep failing these. I'm going to keep assuming it's going to keep going under the 8 moving average until it tells me otherwise, all right? So trade safely here, be careful, and I always say it, look, passion doesn't pay the rent. Passion doesn't pay the mortgage. Passion does not put dinner on the table. Don't be passionate about some random 4 letters. All right. MULN is just a random 4 letters that I'm telling you we'll all forget at one point and start getting excited about another one. All right. So this is the last thing I want to show just for whoever's on here. All right. A lot of the way I decide what I'm going to make of, obviously, you know, I love the viewer requests, but there's actually this thing, this research thing I can do on my YouTube analytics, and it shows the top search volume on YouTube for my viewers over the last 28 days. And look, sound is right there. SoundHound's right there. If I go, like, there are some stocks that are here multiple times, okay? MULN was my top stock until this weekend where TTOO took over, all right? MULN is not on page 1. MULN is not on page 2. Dude, MULN isn't even on page 3. Again, I got 2 more sounds on page 3. I got a TTOO, a T2, another sound. Like, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy that MULN is just not on this to me. And again, I'm an insignificant nothing, right? Like, I've got about 2,000 subscribers. There are people with like 200,000 plus, right? But just, to me, that means something, all right? So, hey, trade safely out there. You know I appreciate your time. Thank you.